what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode?
I just got home. Yeah, it's about to rain. Yeah, we're gonna have dinner. Yeah, because it's summertime, baby. What? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I graduated and we're gonna celebrate at the Purple Palace. What kind of palace? A Parisian Palace. A purple Parisian Palace. At the Purple Parisian Palace. The food is really great. At the Purple Parisian Palace, we're about to celebrate. Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh. We have so much to catch up on. I didn't post last week just because I knew that the week before was going to be literally insane, and it has honestly been one of the most jam-packed 2 weeks of my whole life. The most like kind of emotional, like highs and lows, and I just knew that having to edit on top of that was going to be a little bit too much for you girl. So I decided to take the week off so I could focus on my diploma show. I'm gonna talk to you guys all about that because what a crazy and amazing experience, and just like having that to reflect back on. And also, as you guys know from my last video that I posted, my divorce papers, I went and signed those. So I'm gonna be talking about kind of those both contrasting experiences. We have so much to catch up on, like I said. So I decided that I wanted to invite you guys over for dinner. We're gonna have dinner in my little Parisian apartment. And we're gonna have some good catch-ups. I don't even know, like I don't have like an outline or anything for this vlog, so it might be like 40 minutes long, but that's the kind of shit that I like. I like just sitting and talking and actually feeling like as if you were just like a friend I invited over, you know, or something. So I hope you guys are doing well. Tonight on the menu we have a mozzarella salad. I've honestly been eating and drinking a lot of alcohol this week too, just because it's been like such a fiesta week, like obviously like celebrating my diploma show, we had like parties and stuff like that. So I honestly don't feel like super hungry, so I'm gonna do a matzo salad, and we're just gonna catch up on life. My apartment, you guys, has literally never been this fucking disgusting. I hope my landlord isn't watching this. She actually wrote me the other day and she's like, my old tenant was wondering if this apartment is, if you're gonna move out soon because she wants to move back in, so let me know. And I was like, I'm gonna stay at least for maybe like another year. So can I stay? But yeah. Okay, anyway. Apartment. Why is it so dark? Okay. I'm just gonna show you guys this place. And this is why I don't give apartment tours, because it's like this and this and oh my god, a painting. painting. And oh my god, clothes. And look, a pretty shelf where I do all my videos, so you don't know that the rest of it is fucking falling apart. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? So this is like what I do, and I know a lot of people are probably like in the same boat, is you clean your apartment like super good. Okay, super good. I'm giving myself too much props. To a good enough degree that you can invite people over and you're not ashamed of yourself. And then over the next week or so, I just let it go back downhill, you know? Until the day that I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. All right, I'm gonna make us dinner. Okay, so I realized I'm not hungry for dinner yet, but I thought, I guess before dinner we could have like a little drink. I know this vlog is going to be, like I said, super long just because I want to talk to you guys and catch you up on everything before we get into the summer season of the Purple Palace. So, how are you guys doing? First of all, I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat of like finishing school and everything like that. It's such like a surreal and incredible experience, and it just makes you feel like it's a weight that's lifted in a way, but at the same time you are in these moments, like these last moments of school, you are already nostalgic for them because it's like your last everything. For example, for my diploma show, me and my best friends, we did a performance together, and these girls, like I've always done all of my art projects with them because not only are they talented, but I just love working with them. And so when I write like a theater piece or something like that, I always have like, you know, my friend sing, my other friend tap dance and stuff. And before we did my performance for my diploma show, I was like, this is the last time we're gonna do this at school, and it was really nostalgic, you know? So there was a lot of that going on. Yeah, let me do like a little cheers for you guys. Cheers to this new chapter in life, these big transitions. Like I said, these last few weeks were really big because it was two, you know, kind of contrasting things. Like there was something like to really celebrate, which was like the end of art school and graduating, and it was also very nerve-wracking. Like this entire month has been extremely stressful in a way because it's like 5 fucking years, you know what I mean? Like 5 years leading up to this moment of like having to perform in front of a jury, and I'll talk to you guys about like that whole process and everything and like how I feel about art school and stuff like that. And then, you know, the finalization of my divorce and stuff like that. These two things like coming together at the same time weirdly was very healing in a way because it just felt like full circle, like totally new, like shedding so much like old skin, or that's kind of gross. I feel like I'm a fucking like snake or something, but you know, like letting go of old layers and just like freeing myself up. I just feel so free right now, you know? I know like a big part of that is just like taking time to journal in the morning, and every time I see somebody these days, they're always like, God, you like are so happy and joyful. And it's because every day when I wake up, I just make sure to set the intention and be like I always tell you guys, like I am the one that decides what my life is going to be like and how I want to be. You know what I always write in my journal? I write, I am so fun and cool, which is like kind of cringy to say out loud, but I think like so often in life we go through life like feeling like we're not the cool kids, you know what I mean? Like, or like we're not fun, or you know, we hear things growing up and we believe them, you know, like, and so I am fucking fun and cool, like, and I like these are the things that I want to be true about myself, and so I'm gonna make that the reality, you know? So I think that actually doing that and being like, no matter what anyone says, no matter like what this jury at the diploma says about my work or whatever, I think I'm really fun and cool, and I would want to be friends with me. You know? And that's okay to do, to be, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. I told you guys this vlog is going to be like all over the place. But isn't it like that though when you're having dinner with a friend? You guys are just like bouncing from topic to topic, and then she's like, oh yeah, did you see that movie? And you're like, oh my god, are you still with Brad? And you're like, oh no, Brad sucks, like not with him anymore. And then you're like, oh my god, I think like I'm just like going in a new direction in life. And I'm like, really? Like, why do you feel that way? The only thing is, in this context, I'm not getting any feedback except for the comments. You guys, I'm not even just saying this. When I like see your comments, I'm like, you guys are, one, very funny, and two, very cool. So, going. Please don't die. Did you die? Oh no. Oh my god, I just did this like weirdest thing where it just flashed. And I thought, because I'm like the dumbass that doesn't use like an actual stand for my camera, I put you guys on a vase. And so you fell. It's like putting a toddler in a rocking chair. There is no limits. The sky is the limit. I'm gonna sink down. Oh, this is okay. I don't know about this hairstyle though. When I was like, this kind of reminds me of this hairstyle of when I was in like 6th or 7th grade. Like the generation of like having your bangs like all the way to the side, like kind of like a comb over. But I guess I was going for like some mermaid-ish vibes. I know that this vlog is gonna get into like some deep shit about like life and love and everything, so I don't know, we'll get there. Tell me about you. Do you feel like people ask you about you enough? I don't mean like YouTubers, but just like in general. Do you feel like you are the friend that is always like listening to everybody else's shit, or like always, you know, being like the therapist to your friends? Or do you feel like you are that person? Do you feel like you're the one? Do you ever have that friend that you're like talking to them and like you want to like listen to their stuff, but then they never ask you about you? I had friends like that. I don't anymore. For that reason. I did have this one friend once, and here's the thing that she would do. She would talk about her life for hours. I would be like super attentive and give her like all this advice. And then when I would talk about my stuff, or like try to, or like interject little things, she'd be like, what did you say? I wasn't listening. And I'd feel like, oh my god, I feel like shit, because like I just feel like not worthy, like my life isn't interesting enough. Anyway, I guess I just wanted to ask you guys that because I think it's important to have like a two-sided relationship, you know. And I know obviously you guys are on the other end, like you can write comments and stuff, but I want you to know like I really do care about you guys, and I feel like you guys are friends, which is why I invited you guys over for dinner. Let me know in the comments what you guys are eating for dinner. Probably something like better than a mozzarella salad. I recently started getting into Brussels sprouts. Okay, no one cares. So I guess I am getting a little bit hungry now. The sun's about to set. So I'm gonna prepare our mozzarella salad. It's gonna be super delicious. So while I make the salad, I'm gonna throw it over to my alter ego Sophie, my French alter ego, to talk about today's video sponsor. Ah, je t'ai même pas vu. Ça fait combien de temps que t'es là? I did not see you there. I'm so embarrassing. You don't even know how long I've been wanting to call you and take your news and give you my news, you know. I've been so busy, you know, because I've been vacationing in the south of France, dans le sud de la France, à Saint-Tropez, and you never guess, but I met this American guy there, and he's falling in love with me, and he's telling me, you know, Sophie, I love you so much. I love your French accent when you're speaking English, and you know me, I don't have the heart to tell him that, you know, in reality, I don't really have this thick French accent when I'm speaking English, because I went to Lingoda, online language school. So for those of you that don't know, Lingoda is an online language school with classes in French, English, Spanish, German, and that's just to name a few. They have small group classes and you can really practice speaking with native, qualified teachers around subjects that are actually going to interest you. I personally have tested their classes and I can see why so many of you guys love them as well, because you're really getting that practice speaking and using vocabulary and phrases around discussions that actually will interest you guys. You can either do the super sprint, which is taking 30 classes a month for 3 months in a row, and if you do that you get 100% cash back refund until June 24th. So if you are serious, hurry up and sign up for that. That's the early bird special. You can sign up after that, but you will only be able to get a 50% refund. Or if you just want to try it out and you want a little more flexibility, you can do the sprint, which is taking 15 classes a month for 3 months in a row. For both, you have to pay a 49 euro deposit because places are limited, but if you use my code, you get 20 euros off that deposit. As always, all of the rules and event details are available on the Lingoda website, but without further ado, let's get back to notre dîner. Great job, Sophie. While she was talking, I decided to take my hair out of that whatever that was. I mean, it kind of actually probably looked better before. Do you guys know that when I was in 5th grade, I begged my mom to get a perm? I was like fucking like 10 years old and got like a whole headed spiral perm. It was honestly pretty iconic, and it was really cool because I had it for so long that like by the time it started growing out is when I went to middle school. And what was weird about it is like my hair is naturally like super straight, so my hair grew out and then it would be like super curly, and everyone was like, that's so cool that your hair does that. And I was like, yeah, it's natural, you guys. I don't know, like my dad had curly hair, my mom had straight hair, and then like I just have like this straight hair that goes curly after, you know? So lately I've been really into like big hair. The bigger the hair, the closer to Jesus. Okay, we're gonna eat dinner and we're gonna talk about life. Bon appetit! This looks so freaking good. I guess if I was a dinosaur, I would have been probably like a veggie eating one with like a long neck, like eating leaves. Did I ever tell you guys that when I was little, I was so obsessed with Land Before Time that I would go out into my garden and I would pretend that I was Littlefoot and I would eat leaves, and my mom was like concerned. She was like, Sheena, stop eating leaves. Turned out just fine. One of the great things I feel like about when I was younger is the TV shows were so creative. Like Barney was so freaking creative, and like even the way like the sets were designed and stuff was so like 3D. It wasn't like with computers or anything like that. And I think that, or like, do you guys remember like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Probably not, but everything with like the puppets and stuff is so freaking creative. Hell yeah. Go off. Okay. So, like I said, crazy last few weeks, and I feel like before like I do anything else on my channel, I just wanted to have like a massive sit down dinner with you guys where we talk about everything. I think I'm gonna start with like the diploma stuff first, and then I'll talk about like the divorce and everything like that later in the video. And like as always, I know I don't have to talk about that kind of stuff, but I've like really learned a lot of valuable lessons about self-love and things like that. Like look at me like my and I want to share those with you guys. I want you guys to be a part of my journey. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of being vulnerable, and because I know that you guys are my friends. So Okay, we'll start with the diploma. By the way, so many people message me all the time asking me what school I go to. Now that I'm done with it, I don't mind saying I go to the École des Beaux-Arts à Cergy. So it's a little bit outside of Paris, but it's one of the, there's only like 2 real fine art schools in the Paris area. There is Les Arts Déco, but it's more decorative arts, you know. So there's Le Beaux-Arts de Paris et Le Beaux-Arts de Cergy, and the reason why I chose Cergy is, one, I didn't get accepted to the Beaux-Arts de Paris. I made it to like the last round, but during my interview at Le Beaux-Arts de Paris, my computer completely like fucked. It just was done. So I know, like, you know, understandably I didn't get chosen. However, Le Beaux-Arts de Cergy is also like really an amazing school, and it's very experimental. There's a mix of music and dance and everything, and I'm actually really glad that like I didn't get accepted to the Beaux-Arts de Paris, because I think the Beaux-Arts de Paris is more classic, and I really was like neck and neck in between these 2 schools. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to say that for the record. That's the school that I went to these last 5 years, because I always get asked, and I kind of avoided it because there's only like 30 of us in my whole class, and at one point I did have like a stalker situation. I haven't really talked about it, and I don't think that I really will go into too deep into it, but yeah, it's weird, like someone like me that is like, that has a stalker. I just feel like I'm not like the type of YouTuber, like I'm not like a huge YouTuber that you would think would have a stalker. Anyway, so I just didn't want to give out like that kind of info, or like just to be safe or whatever. But yeah, now that I'm done, I don't mind saying it. And I had a really amazing 5 years at that school, even though like there are obviously ups and downs with each school. But let's talk about the diploma. So when you are in 3rd and 5th year, you pass a diploma. 3rd year is for your bachelor's degree, and 5th year is your master's degree. I decided to stay until my master's degree. Basically, in your master's year, you have 40 minutes in front of a jury, not nerve-wracking at all, right? And you decide how you construct those 40 minutes. Either you're talking about your work, you decide if you want to show just like one thing, or you can show like a bunch of different things, and then you have a discussion with the jury in French, of course, and then at the end of the day you go into this little room, and the whole school, I mean not the whole school because not everybody will be there, but a bunch of people are waiting outside of this room for you to come outside and tell them what happened. Because you go into this room, the jury talks to you, and they're like, so this is the note you got, and there's like 3 kind of notes you can get. You either get your diploma, which is just standard, like you got your diploma but nothing else. You can get a mention, which is like the next highest, or you get the félicitation, which is like the highest honors, which obviously is like ideal. And I decided that I was going to do a performance with my 2 best friends. I had previously written a theater piece, and I have like all of my sculptures around me as decor, as like the set and stuff. I didn't vlog it, but I did take some clips that I'm going to show you guys, because I think, you know, a lot of you guys are into like the art stuff, so I want to show you guys that too. And I knew that was gonna go well because I had done that performance before, and for my diploma show this year I was just like adding stuff onto it. And basically this performance is all about how online we have this pressure to perform our life. We have this pressure to perform our reality. And I became interested in that when I started doing YouTube, because I guess the best way to illustrate this is, for example, you know, when a YouTuber is filming like their morning routine, obviously like this might be what they are doing in their mornings every day, but once you put a camera in place and start filming them, you know, it's gonna be a lot more aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like, okay, sure, they might have this cup of coffee in the morning, but with the camera on, they're not just having the cup of coffee, they're on like the terrace, like they're, you know, they're looking out the window. And I'm guilty of this as well. And so as people online, we want to perform our life as it is in reality, but make it look even better. And I think that's super interesting as a concept and why we want to do that. And it raises the question of, you know, what is real and what is a performance, you know? And I think like Instagram is even worse, you know, like vacation photos. In the performance, my friend Jihoon is laying on the ground like eating McDonald's and just doing like this one repetitive dance over and over, and she's like, oh la la, c'est chaud. Like my other friend at the same time is jumping in the air and being like, c'est le paradis, c'est le paradis, oh it's paradise, because I wanted them to repeat over and over words that describe a vacation, because I feel like that is one of like a perfect examples of times that we want to perform our reality. Like when we go on vacation, obviously it's great, but a lot of it is trying to perform for the camera how much fun we're having, you know what I mean?
Oh, c'est le paradis. Ouh là là, c'est chaud. C'est le paradis. Ouh là là, c'est chaud. Getting hot and cold. Getting hot and cold.
So I wanted to explore that in the performance and use like a lot of different decor and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna like share with you guys the speech that I gave, because I think that one of the reasons why it worked so well is I was able to be vulnerable and tell them like why I wasn't looking forward to this presentation. So I basically said, after they walk in, there's the performance, and after I said bonjour tout le monde, merci d'être là. Je suis vraiment ravie qu'on a pu faire cette rencontre aujourd'hui, et je suis même plus content que je me sens sincère quand je dis ça, parce que si vous m'aurez demandé il y a une semaine comment je me sens à propos de ces passages de diplôme, je pense que je n'aurais pas dit la même chose, parce que je pense que je suis comme beaucoup d'élèves en école d'art quand il faut présenter devant les gens, surtout dans un cadre de jury comme ça. Ça peut être stressant, on a l'impression qu'il faut l'air intelligent, qu'il ne faut pas faire de fautes, qu'il faut impressionner, gna 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 gna. Et j'ai dit, mais puis je me suis dit, Shayna, il faut pas que tu performes devant ces gens. Et puis, and so after I said that, I said that I realized that I don't have to perform in front of this jury. I just have to look at them as people that are there to understand my art and connect with me in that way. And just like feel really passionate what I'm talking about, and if I am that way, then they're going to connect with what I'm saying. And I used that metaphor to connect with the theme of my performance, which was wanting to perform our realities, you know what I mean? And you don't have to, like, even sometimes like when you film yourself as a YouTuber, etc., when you turn on the camera, there's always that desire to be like, hey guys, like, and like put on a smiling face. But one of the reasons like I really like doing this with you guys is inevitably, you know, when I feel like we're having dinner together, I feel like my true self really comes out. So I passed my diploma, and when I was talking to them, they were super interested in what I was saying, and I just felt like it went really well. And then afterwards, it was my time to pass in front of the jury. And you know, everyone was waiting outside, and I walked in, and I sat down, and they said, honestly, we are not even sure what we're doing here, because we feel like you're already like an artist in your own right, and we just feel really lucky to be able to experience your art, and you know, we know it's gonna be like such a big gift to the world, and like saying all these things. And I was like, I mean, it was just an amazing feeling. And they told me at the end that I got the félicitation, which is like the highest honor you can get, which I wasn't even like, oh, I have to get that or anything. And then I walked outside and everyone was cheering, and it was amazing because that was the last night that everyone had passed their diplomas. There's like 6 people per day that pass their diplomas. And so the school organized like this big party for us. And everyone was dancing, and we had like this big table with like all this amazing food on it. So yeah, that night it was like kind of bittersweet because it was the last night that we were all together in that sort of way, and especially for like my best friends that you guys see all the time in my vlogs, we were like hugging and like, I don't know, I'm sure I'm gonna see them all the time, of course, but it's just like a big accomplishment, you know, like, especially like, I was talking about this on Instagram, but when I started school, I was the oldest person in my class. I mean, like, not by like 100 years or anything, but you know, like when you already did a few years of school and you're like going back to school with like 18-year-olds and stuff, you feel like, oh my gosh, like, was this a mistake? Especially studying something like art, which is such, it's such, I feel like of like all of the degrees, it's one of the degrees that is the most looked down upon, because unless you're doing like graphic design or something like that, but I feel like art is definitely one of those degrees where it's like, all right, well, I guess you're gonna be a teacher after, all right, well, you're gonna be an art therapist, you know, like all those type of things, and I feel like it is kind of looked down upon. So going back to school for that, after already doing like all these years and just feeling like, is it worth it? You know, like, is it worth it to like fucking put all these hours in? Is it worth it to really invest in my dream and think, you know, fucking sculptures, like strawberry sculptures, you know what I mean? Like, you know, experimenting with all types of different things, and just like, you ask yourself, especially when I first started school, because I was going to school Monday through Friday, and then I was working double shifts at this burger place just so I could pay my rent, and then all the extra money I would use to buy materials and things. And then I was like, one day I remember just sitting down, I think I was in second year, I asked the professor, I was like, who's gonna buy this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I would always get such good feedback from my professors, and they'd be like, continue, like, it's so cool what you're doing, Sarah. But then I would like look at what I was doing, and I was like, these are like crazy sculptures or like huge installations, and I'd be like really, what am I gonna do with all this stuff after, you know? And then after that, I like realized what a cool environment it was, and I started my YouTube channel, and that like opened up so many doors for me. And if I never would have went back to school, maybe I would never have been inspired to start my YouTube channel, and I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys, you know? And so I just want you guys to know that you're never too old to follow your dreams. First of all, never too old, because no matter what you want to do, maybe by the time you're good at it or you feel like accomplished at it, you're older, but you're gonna be the same age as if you didn't do it at all, you know? If there's something that you want to do, it's always worth it. It's always worth it. It's always worth it. Even if you fail, even if you feel like you're spending a lot of time investing into this thing, I feel like when you think about all the talented people in the world, the difference between the people that are talented and the people that have success is the people that have success, they just went to the end. You know what I mean? So you sitting there watching this, I know that you have something inside of yourself that you've been wanting to do, and you're like, it's too late. Or you're like, what if I'm not even actually really that good at it? What if I try and I look stupid because it doesn't even work, and I just look like that girl that thought she could do something, but she actually sucks at it? I know that there might be some of you guys sitting there and being like, I lost my chance, or, you know, how could I compare to somebody else? If there is a seed of something inside of you, some desire that you have, and it's there for a reason. And all that it wants is for you to water it. All that it wants is for you to give it a little bit of attention, and it's gonna flourish, you know? And if things don't go as planned, or you have obstacles where you're sitting there and you're like, should I, like, is this a sign that I shouldn't be doing this? Or like, you know, is it too hard? It's gonna be too complicated, no. All of those like excuses, those are just opportunities for you to prove to yourself that you are serious about following your dreams, and that you believe in yourself, and you're gonna be a great mother to yourself. you know? A lot of us don't, you know, growing up don't have that encouragement that we really needed, and that could be like from a teacher, that could be from a friend, that could be like in a toxic relationship, etc. All of that is the past, baby. I believe in you guys so much, and maybe I'm, you know, you're watching this video right now because I'm supposed to give you that message. I mean, I'm not pretending that I'm like the archangel here to like give you a message or anything, but I don't know, like everything kind of is connected, right? Anyway, I want you guys to really think about that. I want you guys to think about what is that little seed inside of you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be related to a passion. It could be like a seed of wanting to talk to somebody, reconnect to somebody. Whatever desires you have in your heart are there because they are for you, you know? And they just need that little bit of attention. So I want you guys to maybe like think about what those could be and what you really feel pulled to and gravitated towards while I eat like a little bit of my salad, because I've been neglecting my salad here. And we'll come back and I'm going to tell you guys the story of when I went to sign my divorce papers and like the big lesson that kind of brings everything full circle. So I'll see you guys in like a minute. So now would be about the time that we'd start getting kicked off of the terraces because it's still curfew in Paris. It's honestly like the most annoying thing is like when you're having a fun night and like, you know, imagine you're going to like a bar or something and you have like one cocktail and it's like 9 p.m. and they're like, everybody go home, and you're like, okay, just gonna go home and watch a movie, woo! Anyway, we're now on to dessert. I present to you a soja sun, which is kind of like a pudding but with soja. I think it's like better for you. I'm having coffee out of a wine glass, just because. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys about how it was the day that I went to sign the divorce papers and like all of those emotions that I'm feeling now that it's finally kind of complete, you know, this whole journey, because it has kind of been a journey of separating and, you know, everything feeling very fresh and then not seeing each other for a while and wondering like how we're still going to be in each other's lives in some way, because for me it was really important that we still stay in contact and stuff, because even if we're not going to be together anymore, he's still like my family, and you know, the closest thing that I have to family in France, and I feel very connected to him still, and I still want us to just have like the best relationship and remain friends. So we started this thing where like every Tuesday night he'll come over and we'll watch a movie, and he'll sleep over, but like nothing happens. It's like having a sleepover with your friend or something like that. And like I'll make us dinner, and then he'll bring over like some chips and cookies and stuff like that. And it was like kind of weird at first, but now I just feel like, how blessed am I to have this sort of situation where when you go through, you know, separating from somebody, not being together anymore, but you still care and love enough for each other, where you're going to set up days where you can come over and actually like have fun and laugh, and find like all those things that you appreciated about each other from before, and you know that you're still gonna be friends your whole life, you know? And yeah, I feel like everybody has this idea of divorce as this thing that's like super messy and like, you know, heartbreaking and tragic. And I think it can be a way of showing the other person that you love them and like setting them free to find somebody that does correspond with what they want for the rest of their lives, you know. And it's okay to change, and it's okay to, you know, want to go into different directions but still appreciate and care about all the moments that you had in the past. So we have like this sort of like Tuesday night routine where he'll come over and we'll watch like the Lord of the Rings trilogies or watch The Hobbit. That's actually the movie that we watched the night before went to sign our divorce. So basically he came over, we like did all the documents, because it's weird with like COVID, you have to like come in with everything already signed. And it was like so boring to like sign all these papers with your initials. So we basically did this thing where we like raced each other who could like sign the fastest. I know it sounds like crazy, but yeah, just to show that, you know, going through this process, you actually can still have a good relationship with the person that you break up with. You know, I guess obviously depending on the circumstance, but I remember when I think I shared this like in my separation video at first, when we were separating, I remember writing in my journal every day, God, please make this easy for me, make this process like the easiest thing. And honestly, I think it's also like his character as well to be like very laid back, and you know, he's just like a good person, you know, and I like to think of myself as a good person too. And so we've been able to like maintain like a really loving and caring relationship, you know. So yeah, he came over and then we watched The Hobbit and ate a bunch of chips, and it was like a fun little party, I guess. We had like, but it was kind of sad in a way for me. I feel like I'm more of an emotional romantic type person, because like I made us dinner and like I was like, this is the last dinner that we're gonna have, is like really being like officially married, you know. And then, you know, like the next day we had to get up like really early because the fucking like lawyer lady, she's kind of weird. She sent us like this text, and it was like, okay, come at this hour, stand in front of the wooden door, don't talk to anyone, wait outside, we'll come find you, don't go inside, above anything else, don't go inside before the hour. Like very like weird specific instructions. Like it seemed like sort of like a weird inside job, like I don't even know. But yeah, anyway, we woke up and I remember like we were sitting there in the metro, and I thought about all the times we had taken like the metro together. This is so like such a weird thing to get nostalgic about, but like, you know, like there's couples in the metro like sitting together and kissing and holding hands, and you're just like, I remember I was like sitting next to him and I was like, this is like the last time we're taking the metro together, sitting next to each other. And to everybody else from the outside that was just like sitting there watching us, we look like we're like a couple sort of, because we're still like close and talking and stuff. But I know that like this is like we're on like this weird metro car ride to like different directions basically, you know. So we got there, we were a little bit early, we like walked to the place that we were supposed to walk to. Like it was this like nice apartment building, and there was like all of these couples standing outside, like everybody there to get their divorce. And like there was this weird complicity, that's a French word, complicité, like this weird connection that we all had to each other of like, oh yeah, you guys didn't work out either, like you guys, we all failed in some way. Which I don't even like to say it like that, like failed, but like there was like this thing of like, it's so weird. It was like we were like in this waiting room to do something bad, or like in this waiting room to hell almost, you know what I mean? It was so, not that like getting divorced make you go to hell, but like just seeing everybody, and like you could like see each couple's sort of relation to each other. Like there were some of them were like talking and like seemed like they were getting along, and there was others that were like back to back. There was like this one couple that was like standing against the wall signing their papers on the walls because they didn't realize that they had to have everything signed before they came. And then there was like me and Alex just laughing together and talking like friends, you know. And I was like, God, we're so lucky that like we're so chill. And yeah, we were there a little bit early, so we ended up walking over and getting coffee, and then again sitting on the terrace. And I thought again, like, this is the last time like we're gonna be sitting here drinking coffee. And it's just like those weird things that you think about. Like I guess I am like a very nostalgic person or whatever, but I don't know. Life is very strange. So then it was time for us to go up. The guy came outside and he called us in, and we had to like sit in this waiting room with like all the other failed couples. But we were like laughing and it was like weird. And we walked and they like called us into the room. And I kid you not, like the way that the lawyer was talking, he was like, okay, do you know, like he was like telling us all this stuff. It was like every couple was coming in and coming out like 5 minutes later. It was like, I expected us to walk in, like to be like sat down like next to each other, and then like have to like, they would like be like, so what happened? Or like, so like, are you sure? Or like, you know what I mean? But it was like the fast food of divorce. It was like we walked in, the lady was like telling us stuff like da 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 da. Okay, do you know that if you do this and then once this is sent, you're gonna have to do this and this and this? And we're like, okay, okay, okay. Stamp, boom, done, divorced. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why this lawyer was so cheap. We like walked out and we were like, so that's it? We're done? It was, like I said, it was like the fast food of divorce. It was just like not what I expected. I expected it to be like a lot more dramatic, or like many things in life. It's like, you know, when you are about to like lose your virginity or something, you think it's gonna be like this crazy thing. We're not gonna get into that. Anyway, it's like you hype up these moments in your life, but in reality, like, it's the little things, you know? It's like the little things of like, oh, this is the last time we're gonna be sitting in a coffee shop together as like married people, like. And then afterwards, like we were walking out and it started raining really bad, and I was like, I just felt like walking around. Like I really wanted to have a day that just like stayed in my mind, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to like fucking go to like Pret a Manger, get a coffee, sign the divorce papers, and then just go home. Like I wanted to like have like a very reflective day of just like, I wanted to go home like exhausted and like felt like I walked around all day, or like I really felt the day, you know? So he was like, well, I'm gonna take the metro, and I was like, well, I'm gonna keep walking. And then I think he kind of felt bad in a way that I was gonna walk in the rain with like an umbrella, so he was like, I'll walk with you. So that was nice. We like walked around and stuff, and it felt like, okay, we're ending this day in like it was like a fucking like Nouvelle Vague film movie or something, you know? Then we went to the Tuileries and I saw that there was this carousel there, and I was like, oh my god, like nobody's on the carousel, like we should go on the carousel together, and that would be like the end of a perfect divorce day. Like I know that sounds so crazy, but bear with me. Like it just sounded like a good ending. And then he was like, no, I don't really want to do that. And I was like, but I'll pay for it. And then he's like, no, I don't really want to. And I was just like, it made me like really upset. And I was like, why couldn't you just give me like that one last thing? You know, like I was gonna pay for it. It's not gonna cost you anything. And it was like in that moment that I realized, like, it was like such a small thing, but I was like, okay, this is one of the reasons why like it doesn't work. Like there's been so many times where like I had wanted to do something, where I wanted to get up and dance, or I wanted to just like for us to do something together, and then it was just like, no, I just don't feel like it, you know? And it just like puts a damper on your spirit, you know? And so I remember like it got really emotional, which is like so dumb. Like, why can't you just go on this fucking carousel with me? Like, why can't you just do this for me? And then we were walking away and he was like, okay, I'll go on the carousel. But I was like, well, I don't want to now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do it in that way. And then I just accepted it. Like, that's who he is. Like, he's somebody, like, he doesn't want to do something, he's just not going to do it, you know? So then he was like, oh, I'm gonna go home and like make a dinner or something. Do you want to come over? Like, try to be nice, you know, to end the day. Like, it's nice to like end this experience together, you know? So I went over, we had dinner, and then I went home, and I remember like promising myself, I was like, Shayna, you're gonna be single tomorrow, like this is like your first day. And I was like, you wanted to really go on the carousel, so you have to go back there, even though it's like really far, and you have to go on it by yourself because it's really important to you. Which is like so dumb. I don't know why I'm crying, that's like really stupid. But so I remember like waking up the next day and like feeling really tired and like not feeling really good, but I was like just get dressed up and like go outside, like walk around and stuff, you know? Like, try to make this day special for yourself. And so I like went all the way there, and it was like just getting done raining, so the carousel was like completely empty. Like it was like no one was on it, and I was like, I went up to the guy and I said, "Est-ce que c'est pour les adultes aussi? Is it for adults as well?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." And he gave me a ticket, and I was just like sitting there alone on the carousel, and it was going around in circles, and then they started playing this weird French song that was like, "She's a woman." And then they started playing Michael Jackson, "I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad." And I'm just like sitting there on the carousel, and then all of a sudden I just started laughing and like having the best time ever. And I just remember like going around in circles, and everyone's passing by like watching me like, who is this crazy bitch just like going around in circles on the carousel, like having the best time ever by herself, you know? And I was like, oh my god, like this is what it's gonna be like just us, you know? And that moment I thought to myself, it was kind of annoying to get out of bed and like come back down here, but it was so worth it, you know? And so I guess that this is kind of the theme for this video and this vlog and everything, that like going like those extra few steps, whether it's going on a carousel by yourself in the middle of the day in the streeteries, or going back to school when you're not sure that you're meant to follow your passion, like proving to yourself that you actually care enough about yourself to do like little things, like it's always worth it, you know? And I got off that carousel and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna have so much fun together for the rest of our lives. And then I had to go to Leroy Merlin, which is like, has nothing to do with this, but I had to go get like some scotch tape, and I was crossing the street and these two subscribers right after me, and they're like, oh my god, like we're so excited to see you, we never thought that we would see you out, like you don't know how much your videos have helped me and stuff. And just like having that moment right after what I had experienced completely like made my life, you know? So I don't know, I wasn't expecting to cry in this, but yeah, it was all worth it. Okay. This is a really nice meal. Thank you guys so much for eating with me. Imagine like if I was hanging out with a friend and I said that to them like after we got done eating. I'm like, this was a really nice meal. Thanks for eating with me. Like I never eat with anybody. Anyway, I promised you that this was gonna be a long ass video, and did I deliver? And god, like all of these like things going through them, you know, graduation, all that, like these last few weeks, it was a lot, but at the same time I feel so good. Like I feel like I'm finally like I feel like I can fly now, you know? And I'm really proud of myself. I like myself more than I probably did before, like a year ago. And that's not all you can ask for, is to just be able to sit alone in your own company and just feel like you can trust yourself and feel like you can have fun. Like, yeah, of course we're gonna go to the carousel. Of course we are. We always will. We'll always do that. And now I'm just so fucking excited for the summer. We're gonna do so much. I say we because I'm gonna take you with me. We're gonna travel. We're gonna do so many picnics. We're gonna roll down so many hills. We're gonna learn so much. and we're gonna have the best time ever. Something that I always write in my journal is that I'm so grateful for the life that I have lived, but I know that the best is yet to come. It feels like it, man. I love you guys. Oh my god, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I guess I will end the video here because I feel like we've shared a lot, and I don't know, let me know if you guys like having dinner together. For me, it feels like the most natural kind of video to make. Like, of course I love making vlogs and sharing like my life and stuff, but just like sitting and being able to talk and like open your heart, and I don't know, feels like I actually am with a friend. So I love you. I can't wait for what's to come next. And if you made it to the end, all 10 of you, if you made it to the end, leave a comment that of course says it was all worth it. Okay. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys very, very soon. I love you. Bye, babes.